Before the following episode begins, I would like to give a shout out to the following awesome people who survived my 4-year anniversary special, which I still think to this day was by far the worst way I could celebrate my 4-year anniversary. So without further ado, here are the shoutouts. Dono Meme, Triforce TK, and Gigio Gamer. Thank you guys. If you want to check out these awesome people, go to the description. I have links to their channels. Thank you guys, and I hope you enjoy this episode. Hey guys, MultiClassicgamer here. Welcome back to another episode. Let's play Plants vs. Zombies. And guess what? Today, we're gonna visit Crazy Dave at his shop. And first, we're gonna purchase this because this is essential for what we're gonna be doing next. And we're gonna be purchasing the final plants of the game. These are kernel pults. Now, you might be wondering, what is it that makes them so, awesome, like so overpowered, as if I mentioned it before. And I can answer that, but there's only one way I'm going to do it. And that's by showing it to you guys, by demonstrating its awesomeness in Survival Day Hard. Okay, so here's the big difference between the easy modes and the hard modes of survival. The hard modes are 10 flags. That's it, they're 10 flags. So, they take twice as long. And there is one other difference. As you get farther through the flags, the zombies do get more powerful. Like, we are going to be seeing, like, really powerful zombies like gargantuars and stuff like that. We're going to be seeing... When I say gargantuars, we'll either be seeing a lot of them or none of them. Because I've actually had that happen before. Like, it's pretty random what zombies they give you on each set of flags. So, there are some times where you will not ever see gargantuars in any of the levels. At least at any point in a survival mode. So, just keep that in mind. And you just have to, since they'll throw pretty much every zombie they can at you in any level, your best bet would be to get as many plants out as possible. And keep your set varied so that you can protect yourself more efficiently. That's basically that would be my advice for taking on these levels. But in the meantime, we have a new plant to utilize, and we're gonna be doing that in this very episode. Well, maybe this episode, I don't know, because since hard mode's gonna be twice as long as easy mode, that means that I'm probably gonna split each mode into 2 episodes. I know you guys would probably want me to just continue on, just do, hard mode all in one episode, but I just can't do it with long episodes like that, because, it's just, there's just too many problems with that. One of them being that, having long episodes, I doubt, it's, okay, so, God, what am I trying to say? People are already starting to get bored with this game. Like, I started getting comments recently, well, actually only one so far, but I can imagine there are some people out there who also feel this way, and just, just don't want to speak up. But some people have been getting bored with this LP, and I can understand. Like, don't get me wrong, Plants vs. Zombies is a really awesome and fun game. It's really, really fun when you play it, and it can be fun to watch. But if it's the only thing an LPer is posting for like a month or so, or month or 2, then yeah, I can see it getting boring. Like, because you're watching the same thing over and over again for like a month. So, I totally understand where you guys are coming from, coming from with that. So, I'm not going to, like, do only Plants vs. Zombies. At least as soon as I figure out what game I'm gonna, like, because I did have somewhat of an idea for a game I could, add into the mix until, just until I can think of another one, until, Plants vs. Zombies is over, because what I want to do is start another Let's Play before I end off Plants vs. Zombies, but I want the Let's Play to end off with at the same time as Plants vs. Zombies, because I've got a spring Let's Play to prepare for, and it's a pretty big deal. I'll definitely say that. It's a pretty big deal for a Let's Play, because it's one of those, it's a popular game, I should say. Like, it's a very popular game. That got a lot of, good reception and whatnot at the time it came out. And still, people loved it to this day. Like, it's a classic pretty much at this point. But yeah, still, since it's really popular, it's gonna be like really hard to get a lot of views on it. You know, I know I talk all the time about how I'm not here to get views, but still, I should at least like make my best effort, I suppose. You know, since I'm kind of just here, you know, doing my own thing. So I'm gonna do that game, but it's not necessarily to get views. You know, whenever I do a popular game, it's because it's a game that I enjoy and that I want to let's play. So, you know, if I ever do a popular game, don't think I'm ever doing that for views. In fact, if anything, doing a popular game does not get you views. Like, that's definitely one thing for sure. So, yeah, just know that, you know, whatever game I do, it's gonna be, I'm sure it'll be one that you guys enjoy. You know, it's just something that, you know, it's just kind of popular these days. Okay, you know, talking about that, let me just say that I will introduce another Let's Play within the next couple, hopefully within the next couple days or so, maybe a few days, because, you know, I still gotta make extra time to record it, you know, along with PvZ to keep PvZ going. But yeah, I'll just say that I am gonna bring something else to you guys, and you know, so you have something else to watch besides the same game over and over again. So you know, don't worry at all. And, you know, with that out of the way, let's continue on with this, with what we're doing here, so we can actually pay attention. Hopefully this guy will... Yep, there we go. Okay, so one thing I have failed to mention already is that the kernel pult, first things first, it requires... Again, it's one of those plants that you need to plant... that you have to plant over another plant. But here's the difference. Here's one thing that's unique about the kernel pult. It takes 2... of the plant that's an upgrade of, and by the way, it's an upgrade of the kernel pult. And oh boy, hey, wait, have I been calling this the kernel pult? No, it's called the cob cannon. Oh my god, am I seriously calling it the kernel pult? Like up to this point? Oh my, I just can't believe that. Oh wow. Okay. So yes, it requires 2 kernel pults next to each other, like so. So, and as you can see, now it's gonna allow me to plant it, and, you know, and it wasn't before when I had only 1. So, just keep that in mind. And I'd say that all the time, but really, it's serious. So, what we're gonna do is I'm gonna have 4 cob cans in the very back right here, and then as for, it's gonna be like half a Wario step, half not, because I have 2, you know, just one row of the garlic and stuff. Okay, so here it is. This is our first cob cannon. Okay, so this thing, what you do is when it's flashing with a, you know, and it has corn inside like this, click on it, and then click on a group of zombies. And here's what happens. It's gonna fire into the air, and then come back down and smash a bunch of zombies. Like, it'll explode heavily, and it does, like, about the same, it's like the same, like, blast radius as the cherry bomb. So, it's basically essentially like having a bunch of cherry bombs at your disposal without spending extra sun, at least once you buy it. I mean, it costs 500 sun, but it's definitely worth it. You know, definitely, like, there's just almost nothing better than this, I'll tell you that. Yeah, we got a problem over here. Again. Now, we're going to take care of this guy who's causing a problem. Of course, it's kind of a waste. Like, I would recommend that you save your shots from the cob cannon for huge groups of zombies. In the meantime, like, have at least like some offense going, you know, so that you're already killing zombies like without, you know, shooting the cob cannon. So that way, you don't have to worry about getting overwhelmed with zombies, because that can happen. I can almost tell you that. Like, you can still get overwhelmed with zombies when you're having the cob cannon at your disposal. So, you know, just don't get too, like, overconfident that with the cob cannon you'll be unstoppable, because it is a very powerful plant. It's very, like, it's just one of the best plants in the entire game. It's definitely worth the cost and the sun it costs, but you just don't get too excited, I should say, when you have it. But other than that, just have a good time blasting zombies, you know, like there's no tomorrow. Because we now have Big Bertha on our side. Or Big Corntha. Ugh. That's not a good pun. Definitely not. And there we go. At least we made some use out of potato mine. Okay, so you might be asking, what is the other offense I'll be having that's automatic and, you know, fires at the zombies to keep them at least, like, slowing down? And that, my friends, will be melon pults and winter melons. Mostly winter melons. In fact, actually, I think we'll be able to get by with just two columns of, yeah, one of a melon pulse. That'll be good. Oh boy! Pay attention, dude. Yeah, that's the only thing about the cob cans, that you have to pay attention. You know, because sometimes you'll forget that they're ready, and then you'll just be, like, too busy, like, you know, going off somewhere else, you know, trying to deal with a group of zombies, and you'll forget that you have the cob cans all ready for you. So that can be one of the downsides to them. It's like, you know, they're manual, so you have to, like, you know, not forget that they're there. And here we go. Now we have ourselves a complete set of cob cannons, and we just have to wait for them to be ready. But in the meantime, we have the melon pulse helping us damage the zombies along the way. So, you know, if they do get, you know, at least the winter melons will prevent them from getting too close. Like, it'll kill them before they get too close. But we can destroy them faster by having our cob cannons destroy them, like so. Like, I think you could do, like, very well in a survival hard mode by just having 2 cob cannons, because you would take one and fire right here, like in this square, and that would destroy, like, these 3 rows of zombies here. And then you have another one fire down here, and that would destroy the zombies down there in the bottom 2 rows. So that would be my advice for doing so, for having this type of setup. But that's just me, okay? So, you know, you guys can have your own, you know, your own way of interpreting how the cob can should be dealt with, but this is by far my recommended way of using them. Now, here's another downside to the cob cans. I keep on, like, mentioning all these downsides, seem like they are, like, one of the worst plans, but they're not. Like, trust me, they're worth it. They're worth all these downsides to them. And I believe this is actually the last downside. The last downside is that, just like regular plants, they can be eaten within 2 seconds, or 3 or 4 or 5 seconds. Like, however long it takes a zombie to eat through a regular plant, that's how long it takes them to eat through these plants, despite the fact that they take up 2 squares. Yeah, ridiculous, I know. But that's the way it is. So, your best bet would be to have them in the very back, protected with plants that are protected by pumpkins. This would be my recommendation. So, let's turn these melon pulses into winter melons and add another column of them. And then put pumpkins over them. In fact, for good measure, let's do imitator pumpkins. And since we're going to be seeing pogo zombies, nothing else that's going to be an issue in these next 2 flags, we're going to get a... Tall nut, wow. Okay, so I apologize for having another brain fart there. Okay. But yeah, that's basically what my plan is for this set, at least for now, because... Oh yeah, there's also one last thing. Spike rocks. Spike rocks we're going to have on the very last column, because that will at least damage the zombies even further before they can get too far. And plus, it will help us... It'll make it easier to deal with the gargantuars and the zombonis, because they'll kill the zombonis instantly. And as for the gargantuars will be too busy smashing down on the spike rocks. So that'll make them take... Oh god, we gotta remember the garlic too. And as for the rest, what else? I think that's good. Yep, that's good. Just as long as we keep the sunflowers, that is. Yeah, but I'm sure we'll be fine. Okay, so let's get our first winter melon out. Alright. And then keep the sun coming from the twin sunflowers. But I'm pretty sure we'll be good, you know, as long as we... I think with 7 twin sunflowers, they'll have us, you know, just fine. But for now, let's complete this first row. So this entire first row with this setup is complete. You know, we have a spike rock at the end to damage zombies before they reach the garlic. And then when they reach the garlic, they will turn to the next row instead of eating through the sunflowers. So we have this entire first row done. But now that just leaves the rest of these rows, which are our main type of offense. So we got the cob cannons dealing massive damage, and if I'm too distracted, then we have the winter melons, you know, to freeze the zombies, slow them down, and possibly kill most, if not all of them. So we never have to worry about, you know, things getting too heavy, at least not until later, because they will throw a whole crap load of zombies at you later on, like some loads that could easily overwhelm you. But I think with this type of setup, your almost unstoppable. I don't want to say completely unstoppable because things can happen later on that you're not prepared for, even with the best setups of all time. So you just need to be prepared no matter what. Even if you're cocky enough to believe that your setup is gonna be like unstoppable no matter what. So always keep this in mind. And you know what? I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna add a third column of melon pulse. Because I'm crazy like that. Because I'm crazy! See, I just had to do it one more time before Let's Play was over. Granted, it's not even close to being over because we still gotta get through all these hard modes. I mean, God. Oh boy. Yeah, that's gonna be a problem. That's the only problem with this setup. Yeah, as you can see, there's already a flaw right there. It's with the pogo stick zombies getting through the top row because there's nothing to damage the zombies on the top row except for the winter melons. But that's depending entirely on splash damage, and that splash damage is not going to be effective once the pogo stick zombie gets over these twin sunflowers. So be prepared. Best I can tell you, just be prepared. Okay, and without further ado, we are getting more winter melons out. I mean, actually, this completes our winter melons, as a matter of fact. So there we go. Now the rest, we just need 2 more melon pulse, and we'll just be able to focus on having the melon pulse, you know, safe, I suppose. Or should I do a fourth column of melon pulse? I don't know. Maybe. I mean, let's see how it works. Well, let's use the cob cannons too, dude. Don't forget you have them. I mean, just look at that. With just these things alone, you can destroy an entire thing of, you know, zombies. Entire wave of zombies, with the exception being, of course, the stupid pogo stick zombies that are gonna get through. Okay. Now, please tell me it's not gonna be one on the top row, because I hate having to, you know, dig up my garlic every single time that happens. So that's the only annoying thing about that. Okay. Just that and that. Okay. And look at that, we've already got 2 flags done. Alright. No, actually 4 flags. Yeah, that's another thing I forgot to mention. You get to pick your plants just as many times as you did in easy mode. So that means that you're going to be taking on 2 flags of zombies with each set of plants. So it's kind of, yeah, that's basically how it goes. It's hard to explain, but you know, once you do it, then it makes a lot more sense. You know, like it makes a lot more sense to demonstrate than to, you know, try to explain, because that would take forever. Okay, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna do 2 more flags, and I'm gonna end off the episode here because I'm pretty sure by then we'll be at 20 minutes, especially since I keep on talking without, you know, stopping. So I guess just for the heck of it, we'll do another column of melon pulse, or we could do a column of 3 Peters. I don't know. It would be an entirely insane setup. It would be. Like, it'd be probably one of the craziest setups I've ever tried before. But what the hell, I'm gonna do it! Because I'm crazy. As if I didn't say it before in the episode. Oh boy, I can't believe I'm doing this. Like, this is the most elaborate set. No, I shouldn't say this is the most elaborate setup I've ever come up with, but it's up there. It's definitely up there. Alright. So, I guess that's it? I guess. So, no more melon pulse. But we should get them just in case we need to replace them. I guess that'd be our best bet. But another thing that this setup is going for is to attempt to get the 5,000 sun achievement. I know. I mean, like, I'm not sure if I will get it in this because I am spending a lot of sun no matter what. I mean, we're only at, I mean, look at this. We're still at only 325 sun, so, you know, before I bought this 3-peater. So, it's kind of iffy if we will make the 5,000 sun achievement. I mean, it's just, it depends on how long it takes us to get this step done, which probably will take time, so it's kind of iffy, I should say. But I don't know, it seems to be working out. But this But the thing is, with a setup like this, we're gonna be done like faster because we're gonna be killing the zombies faster. So that's the downside to trying to get the 5,000 Sun achievements in this, with this kind of setup. You know, but yeah, because we have to. There's a lot of stuff you have to maintain with this setup, is what I'm trying to say. So, you know, it's gonna make it quite difficult to do these achievements. Okay, so we are good to go, it looks like. I just need to complete this column of spike rock, then we won't have to select that. At least not until the Zombonis and the Gargantuars come through and destroy them. Now, Gargantuars, they will actually... Here's the thing about Gargantuars. They will sit there right behind the spike rocks and smack at it until it's destroyed. But since a Gargantuar only has the power of a Zomboni, like they only have the muscular power as a Zomboni, then it'll take them just as many hits to destroy the spike rock as they do with the as the Zomboni does. So that means that you have just as much time, like assuming you were to have that many Zombonis coming at you at once, to, you know, destroy the Gargantuar. They will still throw their imps while they're trying to destroy the spike rock, because they're being destroyed, you know, by plants, you know, behind the spike rock. So that's why I'm putting a bunch of these pumpkins in, you know, just be prepared for that to happen. And above all, it will also protect the cob cans, prevent them from getting that far. So overall, it should work out for the best, definitely. You know, and we're also gonna have, not only that, but they're gonna have like 3 columns of melon bolts, one of which is winter melons, 1 column of 3-peaters, 1 column of these torchwoods to add twice as much damage to 3-peaters, and then a huge column of tall nuts. So this is basically how the setup's gonna go, guys. This is how it's gonna go. So tell me what you think of it in the comments. Like, if it's really badass, and if you guys agree with me with this set being really badass, then you can let me know in the comments, because I personally think it is. Until that happens. Until these stupid Jack-in-the-Box zombies come through and destroy everything. All this hard work that you put into this setup, they come through and destroy it. And then you have to spend time to fix it. Just great. Just flipping great. Oh my god. I can't believe that happened. Like, can you believe that? Because I certainly can't. Come on. Bring me back my tall nuts. I would like to have my tall nuts back. Okay. Okay, where are you gonna be? What? Okay, fine. Be on the bottom 2 rows. I don't care. At least this way you're gone. You're gone for good. Okay. Now you can just go die. Definitely. Like, just please. Just die. And I've been reusing that thing over and over again this entire Let's Play. Oh boy. Man, this is definitely a disaster. This is like totally a disaster. But you know what? We survived 6 flags, and we're gonna be seeing Zombonis and catapult zombies, which is probably gonna be our weakness, with having the cob cannons in the back, because we don't have these guys to protect them. But we'll see how things work out next time on Let's Play Plants vs. Zombies. I'd like to thank you guys for watching this far. I will see you guys in the next episode, okay? And once again, I'm working on, you know, getting another Let's Play going, but just keep in mind that I'm gonna have to record that in unison with Plants vs. Zombies, which is gonna make it a bit more, you know, kind of tricky. But I'm sure I can work it out to where, you know, I'm doing that. So, see you guys later. Thanks for watching. Bye.